Welcome back, one and all. Thank you again for joining us here on Game Yard TV for yet another video. Welcome to Game Yard TV, your home of West Indies cricket analysis. And this video, we are going to be looking back on the second ODI match played between West Indies and New Zealand. And it was another, close encounter. Really sad that we are on the losing side of things again. This is 4 match now. West Indies and New Zealand would have gone to the last over, and West Indies would have found themselves on the losing side of things. What is it that we are not doing well while we are, coming up on the losing side, in these key moments of the games? And I think Darren Sammy will need to address that, going into the third ODI. I would have predicted this series to end 2-1, right? I already told you that West Indies would have found a way to win one match. I hope that, it will be the third ODI. So the match started with West Indies. They were sent into bat by the New Zealanders. And West Indies would have found themselves in deep trouble. By the 24th over, we were at 130 for 6, right? And luckily, we had, a world-class player in our batting unit, and that is Shai Hope. And he, played a magnificent knock. It was another masterclass, Shai Hope's knock. He finished unbeaten on 109 from 69 deliveries, scoring 13 boundaries and 4 massive sixes. And he actually brought his 100 up with a massive 6. So in the end, West Indies, would have scored 247 for 9 from their allotted 34 overs. As I said to you, it was a rain-affected game. Shai Hope, with his, counter-attacking batting, in the back end of the game, West Indies were able to get 117 in the last 10 overs. And I think that innings played by Shai Hope was a magnificent innings. And he joined Brian Lara now on 1900s in ODIs. Shai Hope has scored now 100 against 12 opponents, in the game. That's a very unique record. I think, Chris Gayle would have scored 11 against 11 opponents. Sachin Tendulkar scored against 11 opponents. Guptill would have scored against 11 opponents. And, Ricky Ponting would have scored against 11 opponents. So Shai Hope now is the only player to have scored, centuries against 12 opponents. In terms of the New Zealand bowlers, I think, Kyle Jamieson and Nathan Smith were amongst the pick of the New Zealand bowlers. Smith finished with match figures of 4 for 42 from his 7 overs, while Jamieson would have taken 3 for 44 from his 7. And I think they were magnificent in terms of putting, and maintaining that pressure on the West Indies, especially through the middle overs. The seam bowlers, they exploited the early movements, and I think that was one of the reasons why, Santner would have chosen to field first. And I think New Zealand, that's something I have to commend New Zealand for. They have been using their conditions really well, right? They kept things tight, and West Indies could not, found any, other than Shai Hope could not have found. The other players could not have found, any rhythm on this track. New Zealand bowlers kept things very disciplined, as I said, very tight. And especially in the power play, they prevent, West Indies from, building huge, early partnerships in the game. So New Zealand, in their reply, they have to make, 248 in, 34 overs. And they got to the total, losing only 5 wickets, but they only had 3 balls to spare. And they had an explosive start, by Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra. I think they were brilliant at the top. Devon Conway getting 90 from 84 deliveries, and Rachin Ravindra got 56 from 46 deliveries. They put on 106 for the first wicket. I think they were brilliant at the top there. They had a little middle order wobble, and losing quick wickets there in the middle. But I mean, the damage was already done in the first half of the game. Tom Latham and Mitchell Santner came in and they finished the game. Tom Latham scored 39 from 29 deliveries, and they were unbeaten. Mitchell Santner scored 34 from 15 deliveries, and I mean they just kept their composure and bring the game home for the New Zealanders, and that would have allowed them to clinch the series 2-0 so far, and it's a 3-match series, so 1 game left to go in the series. Now, in terms of the West Indies bowlers, most of the wickets were shared amongst the bowlers. Again, West Indies, they were not penetrative, especially in the power play. We didn't get any wicket in the power play. In fact, our first wicket came in the 17th over. We have to be better than that, with I would say a par score of 247. We have to be, better in terms of, we had to take wickets in order to win this game, and we were unable to put, early pressure on the New Zealand. That's something that we will need to improve, upon. We have to be much more penetrative as a bowler with the new ball, with the hard new ball, and it was a swinging condition, so we didn't make good use of the new ball up front. Again, in the death overs, we struggled again in this game. We just have to be better as a bowling unit. We have to be able to create and maintain pressure in white ball cricket in order to win white ball cricket games. And I think with the rain also, I think the track was a track that would better with variation in our bowling, and I think we were bowling just one set of ball most of the time. We have pace on most of the time. Needed some slower balls, some cutters and so forth, some hard length deliveries. I think we should have bowled, because the pitch was something with the rain. We had to pull our lengths back and bowl for the top of half, and some hard length, especially at 4th and 5th stump, and I think we didn't do that consistently in the game, so we were unable to really build any pressure or maintain any long pressure in the game. I mean, the turning point of the game, it's easy. Conway and Ravindra just, at the top, they just took the game away from us, batting with a partnership of 106 at the top. Very rarely you're going to get that start and lose a cricket match. And your middle order and lower order have to be really bad, for them to lose that game. I mean, also another turning point in the game, I would say Shai Hope's counter attack, because we could have been dismissed for a very, very low total, because very few batters get into double figures in the West Indies innings, right? So have to commend Shai Hope for that masterclass century. And in the final over, drama again. Jaden Seals bowling a no ball, and he was unable to keep his composure there. And the New Zealand batters, Santner and Tom Latham, they were just very calm and composed, and that helped them to get over the line. They held their nerves and to get New Zealand over the line. In terms of my standout performers, that's very easy. Player of the match, Shai Hope. As I said, can't overemphasize how well he would have batted in that game. Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra. They were, especially Ravindra was aggressive at the top, while Devon Conway was more the anchor, he anchored the innings, and keep West Indies under pressure, scoring 90 and Ravindra getting 56. You know what, Game Yard TV, we like to look on the numbers. So I'm going to be sharing with you the key, performance indicators for this second ODI between West Indies and New Zealand. A little bit of disclaimer, because this match was a rain affected match. It's going to be very difficult to compare the numbers against the first ODI, because this match we had only played 34 overs, while the first match we had all 50 overs. So the power play for this second ODI runs from over 1 to over number 7. The second phase of the game, which we call the middle over phase, runs from 7.1 to over 27. And then the third over phase, which is the last over phase or death over phase, runs from over 27.1 to over 34. So the number of overs in each phase was 7 for the power play, 20 for the middle over phase, and also 7 for the last over phase. While in the first game, we had 10 overs for the power play, 30 overs in the middle over phase, and 10 overs in the last or death over phase. So it's a little bit different, to compare the numbers. But we're going to, do the best we can. In terms of the power play, West Indies have scored 20 runs in the first power play, while New Zealand scored 25 runs. West Indies in the middle over phase, they have scored 149 runs. New Zealand have scored 149 as well. And in the last over phase, West Indies scored 78 runs, while New Zealand scored 74 runs. So it's a little bit, the numbers are identical again. As I would have told you, New Zealand had won the match, only by 5 wickets with only 3 balls to spare, and that 3 ball is critical. So it came down to the wire. So that's the reason why the numbers look, also identical. In terms of wicket fallen, West Indies have lost 1 wicket in the power play, 5 wickets in the middle over phase, and 3 wickets in the last over phase, while New Zealand have lost no wicket in the power play, 4 wickets in the middle over phase, and 1 wicket in the last over phase. And so we would have seen where, in the middle over phase there, New Zealand lost 4, West Indies lost 5. In the last over phase, New Zealand lost 1, West Indies lost 3. Wicket falling there. I think, New Zealand had, better results where the loss of wicket is concerned. And that probably would have, won them the match, especially in the power play. They have not lost any wickets. And I would have said, New Zealand lost their first wicket, scoring 106. And it's very difficult to lose a game, having, got that start from the top order. That's something, West Indies needed, a top order start like that to set up the innings, perfectly for the third ODI. In terms of the run rate, West Indies scored 2.86 in the power play, while New Zealand scored at a rate of 3.57, right? In the middle over phase, West Indies scored at 7.45, while New Zealand scored at the same rate of 7.45. In the last over phase, West Indies scored at a rate of 11.14, while New Zealand scored at a rate of 10.57. As I said, it's very difficult to really, compare those numbers to the first game, given the fact that only 34 overs would have been bowled in this match. In terms of dot ball percentage, West Indies had 32 dot ball in the first power play, while New Zealand had 32 dot balls. West Indies had 56 dot balls in the middle over phase, while New Zealand had 53 rather dot ball in the middle over phase. In the last over phase, West Indies had 11 dot ball, while New Zealand had 17 dot ball. So overall, West Indies had 99 dot ball in that, in their innings, while New Zealand had 100 dot ball. So I mean the numbers, as I said, they look very identical. So it's those little moments in the game that really cost West Indies the game. So New Zealand have taken a 2-0 lead in the 3-match series. So West Indies will need to really come with an A game in the third game in order to win a match in this series. As we would have said in the build-up to this series, New Zealand had been really good at home since 2019. They haven't lost a series, ODI series, at home, and so that continues, as they would have won this ODI series already. But West Indies will need to come. I think what we need, especially, we need our top order to fire. Right, we need some runs from the top order in this third game, and I'm not sure why Darren Sammy is not playing Amir Jangu in the ODIs. Notice it in Bangladesh, and now in New Zealand he's not playing as well, and I think he can be slotted in and give him a chance to see what he can do in this ODI series. Alright, so that's where I will stop for now. As I said, New Zealand have won this match, and they have clinched the series. Thank you so much for joining us here on GameYard TV. Please remember to hit that subscribe button. Please remember to like the video, to share your thoughts down in the comment section, and to share the video with your friends and families. The more you engage with the video, is the more that other people will be able to view the video. Thanks a lot again for joining us, and we will see you after the third ODI.